Lots of news out of the NFL. After 19 seasons, Mike Tomlin has informed his team that he is stepping down as the Steelers' head coach. The Eagles have fired offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo after one season. The NFL Network is reporting that the Chargers have fired offensive coordinator Greg Roman and offensive lineman coach Mike Devlin. And ESPN is reporting that in spite of interest from several NFL teams, Marcus Freeman is still expected to remain at Notre Dame for the 2026 season. The Ravens have completed an interview with Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores for their head coaching vacancy. The Panthers are picking up the fifth-year option on quarterback Bryce Young. The 49ers have opened the practice window for Pro Bowl linebacker Fred Warner with the hope that he returns for the NFC title game. In the NBA, LeBron James and Luka Doncic are questionable for tonight's Laker game against the Hawks. And in baseball, the Diamondbacks are acquiring 8-time All-Star third baseman Nolan Arenado in a trade with the Cardinals. I'm Monty Bolaños.
Hey, how the heck are you?
Hey. It's Covino and Rich. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Spotty's on the video so you can watch what you hear. And if you don't want to watch us, that's fine. You can watch Monty Bolaños because she's here too.
Hi, guys.
We're just using you to get some viewers, Monty. I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind it at all. Go ahead.
You think these guys care about me and Rich? They don't. But Monty's here. And, of course, speaking of sexy, big sexy Ryan.
That's right, baby.
What's
Papa
up, buddy?
Bear's here. Hi, Monty.
Hi, Ryan.
Papa Bear, actually.
Papa Bear is here on the ones and twos. And, of course, super producer Danny G.
You have to address him only as Papa Bear.
No,
Papa
I
Bear.
don't. That's the whole thing. I
All
don't.
right, let's rock out into this Taco Tuesday.
All right.
Hope your night was better than Aaron Rodgers' night. Hope your day's going better than his. And congrats to the Texans. Man, what a wallop. As I said earlier to you, Rich, it was a really close game until it wasn't. It's like the wheels fell off and it got really ugly in the fourth quarter. And you're
feel like
what the hell happened?
I feel like in the fourth quarter, not to sound gross, but if you dipped away to take a little bathroom break and you were sitting there a little long,
you were doing the bowl scroll?
You might have came back to a completely different game.
Yeah, you're like, wait, this is close, man.
Oh, look at the 7-6. All right, 10-6. They're a touchdown, they win it. And then you blink your eyes.
36.
Go read your kid a bedtime story, go back to the living room, and it's 30-6.
So between Rodgers and Tomlin and your boy Warner's in the news, plus showboy Mahomes is stopping by. We got some trivia. We got prizes. There's a lot to get to, so let's get into it. We're broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. So if you miss any of today's show, you want to catch the podcast, just search Covino and Rich wherever you get your podcasts. And after the show, the podcast goes up every day. We have a best of the day and a best of the week on Saturdays. Rate it 5 stars because anything less is uncivilized. But we really suggest you watch what you hear. We do it live, and there's a live chat, and it's popping already. Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. Join the fun, Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube now.
And by the way, shout-outs, can we all agree that Sheldon Rankins, when that dude picked up the ball randomly and was just like, I'm going to run for a touchdown. I thought that was awesome. That's
the big guy?
The big dude,
Yeah,
the big fella.
that was great.
Anytime a big boy is chugging,
You're rooting for it, right?
Yeah,
You're
he's the
rooting for
best.
it.
Out of respect, I just looked up his name because I was going to say, you remember when the big fella,
Because everyone knows what
the
you
big
would have meant
fella,
at that point.
Sheldon Rankins, and he got love after the game and the post game as well. But
all you got to say is big man.
and because in that moment when Rodgers got popped,
Walloped.
and his helmet looked like it mangled his head, and
Clobbered.
in slow motion, that looked brutal. When that ball goes to the ground, you assume big dudes are going to fall on the ball. That guy just reached his hand down like, well, there's the ball.
Well, it's a
Picked
risky
it up.
move. You're taught to fall on the ball.
Yeah, but he did not, and it worked out.
Yeah,
That-
it worked
that
out in his
fella-
favor.
Ooh.
He saw an opening, went for it. That's a huge thrill for a big fellow like that. So, yeah, it was a really close game. It seemed like
Until it
your
wasn't.
boy Danny G, C.J. Stroud, was giving them the game, keeping them in it. You got to give props to their defense. Texans defense continues to carry them, and that's why they're the hottest team in the NFL, 10 in a row now, right? So man, you really got to take them serious moving forward. Because they turned it around. You thought it was close, but it really, really wasn't when they stepped it up.
You could tell that the Steelers' offense was gassed in the fourth quarter.
It was so embarrassing at the end.
I'm no offensive line specialist. I'm not a Kyle Shanahan of sorts. But I mean, that offensive line for Pittsburgh was either collapsing or the running backs were taking weird angles.
They were getting pushed backwards.
I feel like every running attempt, when Aaron Rodgers, every offense.
The pocket was collapsing on Rodgers. There wasn't a lot he could do.
Cove, what I'm saying is we all know that even if the running game's not working, you have to run the ball once in a while just to keep the defense on their toes. Like, you can't just say, we're abandoning the run. But even on those runs where you're like, maybe we'll get 2 and it'll be 2nd and 8, it's 2nd and 11 or 2nd and 12. Like, the running back was hitting the backfield every time. Every time. And I'm going to call this the Rich loses in Vegas all the time theory.
Sorry, really wordy theory.
I
need to work that out.
Because I know we got to talk about Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers, but I just thought of this. So let me kick it with this thought. Kick it! When we're in Vegas, what happened the other day? We were in Vegas for iHeart.
You really want to talk about that? On the radio?
Nothing happened.
Oh.
Or did it? I'm kidding. So
the thing with your bank?
I put up, couple bucks. I play roulette. It's a terrible choice of game.
Love
I get
roulette.
I love it because I love to play like my kids' birthdays, my favorite players' jersey numbers.
Yeah.
And once in a blue moon, you throw $10 on Red 16 and you're like, $360. But then most of the time, I just blow $100 in 5 minutes. So I'm playing roulette and I go, Covino, look up at the board. There's been about 15 reds in a row. And then I'm like, what did Wesley Snipes always teach you? Always bet on black, right?
There you go. See, you got some black friends now, didn't you?
So I said, you know what? It's been like red is hit a million times. You gotta bet on black because it's bound to happen. And there's 2 things in the playoffs that I think we're gonna watch happen and unfurl and unfold divisional weekend. Number 1 is we saw C.J. Stroud have his blunder of a game last night. That will not happen again.
And he was still talking smack at the end too.
Lucky. They're just lucky that they played a terrible opponent in a team that shouldn't have even been there in the Steelers, right? I mean, they outclassed them. They were at one point, if you remember.
They should have been there. They got there. Come on.
I know, but Danny, the Texans were 3-5, busted out 9 in a row.
You didn't say that about the Chargers. You didn't say they shouldn't have been there.
The Chargers.
Good point.
Man. But I think last night the Texans had their stinker, and they still clobbered the Steelers. Like,
even at their worst, they clobbered them.
There was nothing very impressive. 30 points. If you didn't watch that game, you'd probably think something different. But as Covino and I was saying, fourth quarter, that game 7-6, 10-6, a snore fest, and then it just got out of control. I think they tightened up the ship. I think New England's in trouble next week because I think Houston will not allow 2 games like that in a row. So I think, number 1, Houston's bringing it. As a 3-point underdog, I think you go Houston heavy next week. And my other thought, and this benefits me, Dan Byer in the hallway, you know what he said to me? I don't want to look at you. Because he's a Seahawks fan. I go, Dan. He goes, I don't want to look at you.
He said your run ends here.
Yeah. So I said, Sam Darnold, don't we feel like he's due for a stinker? Sam Darnold's been known. Every so often he has a game where he's exposed, makes some mistakes, ill-advised throws, but he's been pretty consistently solid. I think Sam Darnold
so he dies by the
is
sword
due
next week
for a stinker. And for some reason, I think it happens in this high-pressure playoff game. Mike McDaniel's first game as a head coach in the playoffs. I feel like Darnold's going to have a stinker, and the Texans got their stinker out of the way. So based on my roulette theory, it's not going to happen again. It's patterns.
I think you need to work out this theory.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with your theory here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how roulette ties into it.
Sam Darnold hasn't been great to end the season.
I just feel like
something's bound to give.
I want you.
Is that what you're saying?
I want you to note this moment because Danny G, isolate this last 30 seconds, and come Monday, I want everyone to be like, "Man, Rich, you're on the money."
So what you're saying is bet on black?
Bet on black.
All right.
And betting on black.
Who are you, Rob Parker now?
Betting on black.
I told you all season.
Betting on black would mean Houston doesn't have 2 stinkers in a row. They just happen to escape against a team that was overmatched. And the Niners, injured but inspired, playing with house money against a team that I feel like is due for a little bit of a stank.
I agree with you on the Texans, and I think Danny G hit it. It was close, but what we saw was the defense breaking down that offensive line and breaking down that offense. And at the end, they had nothing left.
Yeah.
It's like a prize fight, right? Where the guy's just working the body. And all of a sudden, you see that dude's gassed by the 8th round because he's getting punched in the ribs. He's getting liver punched all night long. By the end of the game, by the fourth quarter, Steelers had nothing. And that was it. That's exactly what happened. So that defense is vicious, bro. So I'm with you on that all the way. The Texans are good, even at their worst. So congrats to them.
Don't think that Drake May can't pull the ball down and run a little bit, though.
Here's
the thing, because you saw in the fourth quarter, Aaron Rodgers had all that field in front of him, and he threw an incomplete pass. He could have ran the ball 22 yards, but he didn't.
But he couldn't, yeah.
The 32-year-old Aaron Rodgers would have ran that ball.
Absolutely.
You know what I thought about that? When I saw Aaron Rodgers hugging some of these young dudes at the end of the game, there's got to be like a conscious and subconscious sentiment of like, yeah, like 10 years ago, you were the man, sir. Like,
I wish I knew you when I was young.
Everyone waited to say something to him.
When like the Texans were hugging him, they were probably in their mind thinking like, yo, man, like when I was a kid, you were good. Like that was probably the sentiment because it's like they respect him so much. But yeah, you could tell last night he was
wasn't
he was
all
gassed.
on him, though.
It
really wasn't. I mean, they were letting him through. He only got clobbered because, well, he couldn't really get out of that pocket, but because they were gassed. The line was gassed, and they couldn't protect him anymore. And you're talking about stinkers, Rich. That was the definition of a stinker. Watching him get sacked like that, watching him get hit like that, having to get up like that. And I'm just wondering if that might be the weakest exit we've ever seen. And I hate to dump on it and pour salt in the wound because I really don't want to. No one wants to see that. I was rooting for Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not hating. I'm just stating. But do you come back if that's the lasting image, or is that just the end of it? Like, how do you go out like that?
You know what?
I mean, if he were to ever listen to Cypress Hill, you can't.
ain't going out like that.
We ain't going out like that. You got,
out.
dude. I mean, but then again, that's just the writing on the wall. What could you do? It's sports. Father Time's undefeated, as they say, and there's honor in the fight, and he fought with honor. But
you can't get shoved out of bounds
dude,
like that.
That might be
the
biggest stinkeroo that ever was, Rich.
And then Rudolph goes in, and he's just standing there on the side. I don't want to remember him like that.
Well, you know what? Here's where we're the most interactive show on all networks. 877-99 on Fox. The YouTube chat is going strong now.
Sometimes you just don't have that choice of how you remember it. That's just life, and it's sad.
What is the weakest farewell that you could remember in sports, movies, television, any like
visually? I don't think you could top mine. I'm serious.
All right, the weakest farewells. Let's take your feedback. And by the way, I'm high on the Texans right now, so let me let you know, according to DraftKings and all our sites, right?
Yeah.
Seahawks are the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. Super Bowl odds right now, of the 8 remaining teams, number 6, Houston Texans at plus 850. I feel like there's a value there only because I think they have the goods. Like, the Niners are the long shot of the 8 teams. And I'm a realist as a Niners fan, even if they slip by their rival opponent, their division opponent this weekend, and then they got to play the Bears or the Seahawks. Then they would have to go play some stacked AFC team. I'm a realist. It doesn't look good. But the Texans at plus 850?
Yeehaw.
DeMeco Ryan, I'm a fan. I like that team. They're fun. And last night they played like ass and still won because their defense is so good. It should be interesting. That's all I'm saying.
You think your boy C.J. Stroud can lift up the Lombardi?
Danny doesn't look...
Dude, it's anybody's season. And as a fight fan,
doesn't look great at times.
I have an answer to your question. As a fight fan, I look at the matchups. Mm-hmm. That's why I love the NFL, and that's why I feel almost fortunate to not have a team because I'm able to watch unbiased as a fan just for the matchups. Bills, Broncos, Niners, Seahawks, Texans, Pats, Rams, Bears.
All great.
That's better than Teofimo Stevenson. That's better than Ryan Garcia, Mario Barrios. These are great matchups. And that's what excites me, the matchups.
Yeah.
You could say that these matchups next week were better than the ones we just watched. I think we're in for some really great games next week. We're going to get you hyped about it. But you asked about, or you were talking about stinkeroos and bad exits and Aaron Rodgers and how hard that was to watch, right?
What comes to mind?
Well, what comes to mind as a fight fan, and that's why I was talking about the matchups, is I'll never forget Bernard Hopkins. He was sort of like an ageless wonder. Remember they called him the alien because he was doing things that we've never seen before. He's like not of this earth. Like, how is he still fighting? Well, I remember Bernard Hopkins got in the ring one too many times, and he fought this guy named Joe Smith, and Joe Smith wasn't like a known dude, and he's fighting Bernard Hopkins, and you're like, man, Bernard Hopkins, crazy. He's got to win this because this might be his last fight. I think he had lost the previous fight. In fact, I'm pretty sure he lost to who did he lose to? One of those Russian dudes. But anyway.
Ivan Drago?
I think it was Drago. And I remember this dude, Joe Smith, in like the 8th round, fighting a legend, Bernard Hopkins, the executioner, now the alien. He knocks him out the ring like the video game Ring King. He goes flying through the ropes onto the floor. And that was the end and lasting image of Bernard Hopkins in the ring. He's a great promoter. He's a great face for boxing. I love him. But the last memory of him in the ring is getting knocked out of the ring by like a right hook. Yeah. How embarrassing is that?
I mean, he came
out
back
of the ring like a WWE moment.
He came back for some exhibition fights, but I always hated when Mike Tyson fought some nobody. And at the end of the fight,
I just don't have the fighting guts anymore.
Yeah, he gave up and he said that phrase. I just don't have the fighting guts.
I don't have the fighting guts.
And he said he does it for the money because he needs to support his kids. And I remember feeling like, oh man, the most vicious dude of our life, Mike Tyson.
But dude, do you remember the video game Ring King, or were you like a punch out guy? Ring King.
I was more
if
of a
you got hit
guy.
with an uppercut in the video game Ring King, you went flying out the ring. You flew. He flew out the ring. That was his last moment. That's what I'm saying. Like. The first time I ever heard this.
Wait, hold on.
Do
that sound effect again? Oh, I thought that was a 3-pointer in double dribble.
No, that's you getting excited for the games next week.
When I see Fred Warner practicing.
Yeah. No, it's actually more of a bink. Pause, yeah. You know, the first time I heard this, it was a morbid thought.
Yeah.
I remember when my grandpa died. My pop, good man, right? Yeah. Grandpappy passed away. They didn't want me to go to the funeral. I was a teenager, but they're like, no, we don't want you to see your grandfather like that. Remember him how he was.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time I had that thought, like, yeah, like you want to remember someone at their best, you know, not at their worst, especially as a young kid like that, right?
I get
you want to remember Aaron Rodgers, one of the GOATs, the greats of all time, being clobbered in the head like that, throwing desperate passes, getting picked off, losing like that in the fourth quarter in a big playoff game. Dude, that was straight up embarrassing. And like I said, there's nothing you could do about it, and I'm not trying to like add to it, right? But it was what it was. So the question is, well, there's a two-part question. Does he come back? And I say absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And unfortunately, that's it?
So yeah. But was that the weakest exit?
Well, did you remember before Tom Brady came back and won a Super Bowl and then had a great, even his last game when the Bucs got eliminated, he had a great playoff game. But you remember when we thought he might retire after the Patriots? A pick six in the postseason to lose a game was how he couldn't stomach it. That's why part of the reason he said he came back at that time, right?
This is the opposite of John Elway. Like you could say John Elway had the greatest exit, right? Aaron Rodgers for his career. First of all, you have to have a legendary career to even be in this conversation. So props. Again, I'm not trying to be mean. None of us are trying to be mean about it. We all watched this last night, rooting for the dude. When you have a legendary career that he had, 20-something years in the NFL, the old guy, you're rooting for him, and you go out like that. He's like, oh, dude.
Does it go away with time?
It will.
We're in the moment right now. I mean,
he's a Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, Rich doesn't remember Jerry Rice in a Seahawks uniform.
That's true.
Yeah, it's forgotten. I heard other people talking about that. Someone, I think, might have been Dan Patrick. I forgot who I was listening to. But something about, like, no one remembers Dan Dan Marino's like last game. What a stinker that was. I mean, people have stinkers. It's on our conscious radar right now. It's prisoner of the moment.
But we do live in a different world right now. Back then with Marino, there was no
social
YouTube,
media,
TikTok, all that to keep reminding everybody.
The clips didn't live as prominent as they do right now. And I just think, it's just an unfortunate way to go out. And I guess maybe how about to soften the blow, we just bring up other ones. Like, hey, you're not the only one, Rodgers.
You're not alone.
You don't get to choose how you go out sometimes.
There was one this year that had all the ingredients for ultimate sadness and disappointment, and it ended up working out. I remember, I'm not even a fan. I was on the edge of my seat with a nervous stomach for Clayton Kershaw. Aww. That inning when he came in, I became a Dodgers fan for a minute because I'm like, please, let this guy go out on this high note. They bring him in a high-leverage situation, bases juiced, if I remember, and it's like, we're going to Kershaw. We're bringing in the lefty.
Yeah, that was so risky,
and I remember thinking, when it was a full count, I'm like, don't walk a guy. Please don't walk.
You're messing with the game, but you're messing with the storyline of this guy's career,
and when he got out of that and they panned to his family, I shed a little bit of a tear, I believe. That was a moment that you pray for. But that was not Aaron Rodgers' story last night. Now, Aaron Rodgers, know what I said, Danny? I hit up Covino at the end of the game. After it seemed out of reach, I go, hey, maybe Aaron Rodgers has one 2-minute drill drive. He throws one more touchdown, and it's sort of like they lose the game, but hey, you got one more little glimpse of moving the ball downfield. Nope. That's just not how it goes.
Bad lasting image, bad exits. In the fight game, it happens that way a lot.
I have a dumb question.
Because people stick around way too long. They don't know when to quit. And maybe that's the case here. I don't think that is the case because, Aaron Rodgers, they went 10-7.
I have a great question.
It's just they went up against a really tough defense, and it made them look bad.
All right, well, I said it's a dumb question and a great question. Why not both? I want everyone in the room to be honest with themselves. Have you ever thought about the last time you were intimate with someone you dated?
I knew you were going to say that.
And, you wonder, like you might have dated someone for a long time.
You got to give them one last.
Almost
double up.
Almost like if the last time you were with someone was really good, you could almost walk away being like, all right, she'll remember. Versus if it was awkward, bad makeup sex and it was bad and the relationship was over, you're like, oh, I don't want her to remember that. That was weak.
Oh, yeah, like a last.
I don't know what you're talking about, Playboy.
Yeah.
Ryan's like, I only deliver.
Yeah, that's why.
Pizza.
That's why they call him Big Papa.
What's his name, Monsi?
Ryan.
Okay,
not
big
Papa Bear.
Ryan.
Thank you.
No,
Big Sexy.
Ryan.
Rich, something that was noticeable at the end of the game, and Brenda watched the Ravens game with me the week prior. Have you ever seen a crowd in a moment and a player and a coach celebrate with their fans, and then 1 week later, it was like that scene that we saw? They were so joyous. Remember the camera kept panning on the fans celebrating, and Tomlin did his beating on the chest, and we were like, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers got some magic left. And then to go from that to this in 1 week.
Danny G, to make it even worse, at his home game, they were chanting for him to retire. How embarrassing is that? That's not how legends should go out. That's why, please don't think we're piling on. We're not, at least I'm not, anyway.
No, they were boo birds.
They were booing him, telling him to retire. Even after the game, it got even uglier.
And that's what Tomlin has been going through there in Pittsburgh.
But it's not like Aaron Rodgers handled it with a smirk and hey, what are you going to do? I gave it my all. He was angry. It was bitter. It was sad. It was ugly.
It's
and that's sports, and that's why we love it. It's drama. But legends in our minds, legends aren't supposed to go out that way.
It's not just players. It's sometimes a legendary coach like Bill Belichick right now. Is his final chapter we remember like some mediocre weak UNC campaign in college? That's
another one, yeah.
Is that where we're
going? But I feel
going?
like that's not completely written.
Now this guy paved the way for everyone, including us in this room. So this is not trash talking, but sometimes I look at a Howard Stern type, and he was the king of all media. No one cooler. He was like we're talking the face of radio. Like Howard Stern made radio.
King of all media for a reason. He had the #1 movie at one point, the #1 soundtrack, the #1 radio show. He was #1 in every media platform that was available at the time.
You could argue that our longevity at SiriusXM only was because he joined that company and made it what it was.
And just for anyone who's new to us, side note, as a teenager, I was working at K-Rock New York, so I was able to witness the mega stardom of what this dude did for radio. So I worked with those dudes on my come up.
I'm not saying he's on his way out, but I doubt he loves the fact that he watched the world of podcasting swoop in and sort of replace his.
Well, so it happens when
his
you
like
stick
mojo,
around that
right?
long,
Like,
yeah.
So why I always said that Letterman and guys like that dipped out at the right time because they realized they were legends.
Well,
but
there's beauty in that, right? And you question guys like Barry Sanders or whoever called it quits earlier than we had thought. And you say, well, hey, they went on their terms. So other examples, we gave you Bernard Hopkins. Look it up, by the way, because I know it sounds unbelievable. The guy went flying through the ring, out of the ring. Got airtime out of the ring.
I think your description is going to be better than the actual video, so I'm just going to picture Bernard Hopkins.
Dude, he like high jumped out of the ring.
All right, well, listen, we got more Covino and Rich. Your examples, I see the phones are hot, so let's go. 877-99 on Fox. The worst farewells in sports and entertainment.
The worst exits.
And we'll talk a little Tomlin, a little coaching, a little, like, where does this guy go next? We'll talk about all that, I promise you. Covino and Rich, more next. Now, DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one sportsbook for live betting, is turning up the stakes for every DraftKings customer with over $2.5 million in prizes up for grabs every Sunday during NFL playoffs.
So you got your money on the Texans or what?
I am a fan of what's going on in Houston. I feel like yesterday was their stinker, and they still whooped Pittsburgh. So, yes, I do like Houston this weekend.
Open the DraftKings Sportsbook app and opt in. Place a live bet for $1 or more on Sunday's NFL playoff games, and every live bet means another chance to win. Place a live bet and stack your entries all Sunday long.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use code CRSHOW. Bet live for your share of $2.5 million in prizes with code CRSHOW in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states, void in Ontario, restrictions apply. No purchase necessary. 3 sweepstakes with separate opt-ins. Minimum odds minus 500. Prizes either bonus bets that expire in 7 days or single-use profit boost. See official rules at dkng.co/live millions for entry period and free method of entry. Sponsored by Crown Gaming, Inc.
The Eagles. Rich says, F them to the highest degree.
Yeah, you know what it is? Their fans reminds me of the Yankees in the 90s. I never really hated the team. It's the fans. And the Eagles, my goodness, I'm a Niners fan. This weekend, Eagles fans, Eagles local media, everyone's talking about how, oh man, like this is an easy one.
Well, it's at home, right? So that's advantage Eagles.
I heard some.
But they've been so.
I heard some.
Not convincing. How about that?
I heard some buffoon in Philadelphia saying, "I'm almost too confident in the Eagles. They're going to smother the 49ers."
Well, dude, if the 49ers played like they played last week, I mean, anybody would beat them, but I'm not seeing that against the Eagles.
Saying how the 49ers aren't good enough to move the ball at all against them. Oh, and then on the other side, their defense is terrible. That's exactly what we need to just run the ball down their throat. And Philadelphia Eagles fans and local Philadelphia media have this odd take that they think this weekend's going to be a walk in the park. I'm shocked that the point spread's even 4.5. I feel like this is the bet of the week. Niners getting 4.5. I know they're injured, but week to week, a week ago, we're talking about how the Niners could be a Super Bowl contender, and they lose to Seattle, and now all of a sudden you're off the Niners?
It is in Philly, and the Eagles do have a great defense. That's their key factor.
I'm shocked that it's 4.5, and I'm shocked at the arrogance. Dude, like, Philly's a Philly's a weak-ass town. Philly's like New York.
Oh, don't you dare. They're one of the best sports towns in all of America, so don't
Rich
go that
was
route.
a fan of the city until he had a cheesesteak that gave him a tummy ache. And then ever since then, he's been really down on it.
The only thing good about the city of Philadelphia is Rocky Balboa. Other than that,
I've spent a lot of time in Philly. It's an excellent city. It's got so much history.
Men, bro?
Yeah. What about Boys to Men?
My sister lives like 2 blocks from where they went to school, and they all got together as musicians. So
what about their cream cheese, bro?
Not
what
a
about
fan.
that broken
Really?
bell, the Liberty Bell, bro, with the crack in it?
What about Mike Schmidt?
They even cracked their Liberty Bell.
Phillies and Eagles fans, Philadelphia fans, always chirping loud, always talking smack, always, with that arrogance, even more so than New York fans. I think it's time that Rich steps up on behalf of his 49ers and says, you know what? It's go time, showtime.
I am not a firm believer in the 49ers having what it takes to go all the way. Injuries have taken a toll. Unless Fred Warner comes out like he's, a man on a mission in a week from now. Like
he's Daniel LaRusso?
Like he's Daniel LaRusso is going to fight? Unless Fred Warner pulls a move like that and all of a sudden something just miraculous happens, I think the Niners are limited no matter how talented they are or well coached. Just injuries sometimes take too much of a toll. But let me tell you, I'm not confident that they could get by Seattle, or I'm not even necessarily confident they could go into Chicago and win 2 times against the Bears.
And that's realistic, and that's the point you're making. But you are confident.
But you know what it is? Sometimes you're not going to win. You're not going to win first prize, but you just want to beat someone else. Eliminating the Eagles and the 49ers shutting up all these moronic Philly fans and all these jabronis with cheese whiz dripping down their cheek on their fat ass belly,
dripping down their mustache.
Yeah, I mean that fan base deserves nothing more than misery this weekend.
Wow.
So I say to you, Philadelphia,
you sure you
Eagles
want to pick
fans,
a fight with the most rowdiest fans? The most rowdiest. Yeah. You sure you want to go there?
I don't think. Bunch of doofuses.
Wow. Doofy is the plural.
You know Philadelphia fans are whack?
Please tell me, because I can't wait till they attack you on social media.
When I would go to a Phillies game, I wouldn't feel comfortable putting my jersey on until I left my car, because they're the type of people that would slash your tire.
And take pride in it.
That's
the difference. Yeah, they're not the only ones. They take pride in it.
I mean, people love to talk. People love to.
That's great home field advantage.
Danny G, that is great. Don't wear a jersey to our stadium. We'll slash your tires.
Brock Purdy didn't make it to the game. They slashed his tires.
I feel like they kidnapped him. I think we love to refer to that game before I think we were all even born, throwing snowballs at Santa Claus.
Oh, that was the one.
That's like the least of their offense. Like, they throw batteries. They're terrible. Like, the Philadelphia fans are awful. And
I think the word is passionate.
No, awful's the word.
We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that.
Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo.
The more and more I think about this, I know I'm making it overly dramatic, but this is Aaron Rodgers, dude.
Well,
Aaron Rodgers, 21 years in the league.
I know you say people don't remember, but our buddy Mauser hit us up, who was a big Dolphins fan. He goes, yeah, I remember Dan Marino losing like 60-7 in his last game, and then they got stomped in the playoffs, and it was embarrassing for a guy like Dan Marino.
Does that hurt his legacy? The answer is no.
No.
It does not. But Danny G's right. those highlights don't live the way these live. And Dan Marino is not as hateable, in my opinion, or divisive as Aaron Rodgers is. So people want to lean into like, look at him getting clobbered.
Dude was an Ace Ventura.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers, I think, garners a different level of criticism. 21 years in the league. Put it in perspective, Rich. Ready? You and I started this show, Covino and Rich, actually in 04, but really in 05, the end of 04, right? That's when Aaron Rodgers' football career started. In 2005. So imagine playing all this time and your last show was a stinker.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's his last game. So
like
even
everything
if he's
was
not,
off kilter. You two kept stepping on top of each other.
Right?
You had a big guest and halfway through it disconnected on the phone or Zoom.
Even worse, someone comes in and clobbers us on the head and everyone sees it. You know, like I get it, it's sports, but no one wants to go out that way.
Yeah.
You want to go out like John Elway. You want to go out like Scarface and Half Baked. F you, F you, F you, you're cool, F you, I'm out. You want to go out on your own terms. And when you're a legend like that, yes, it's rare. And it doesn't have to be like you're hoisted off like you're Rudy or something. But it shouldn't also be like this. This is like what movies are made out of, like sort of like Shakespearean in a way. Like he went down bad last night.
Big sexy run. I know you're a wrestling fan, right?
Yes, I am.
How'd you feel about the John Cena farewell?
It was horrible. A guy who says he's never going to give up, don't quit, yada, yada, yada. What happens? He gives up.
But isn't there irony in that? I know fans were sort of split on that. I know it's sports entertainment, but that's...
It kind of kills the character for me. Yeah. You know, I didn't expect him to like win, but what they should have done is have him just pass out because he would not give up.
I heard he's going to be the new Ernest P. Worrell. Is that true?
He does look like Ernest these days.
John Cena saves Christmas?
Listen, we are live from the Fox Sports Radio studio.
Just kidding, guys.
A reminder, your next success can begin sooner than you think. Apply now and save with no application fee through February 11th. University of Maryland Global Campus this new year. Put your goals within reach at an accredited state university. Learn more at umgc.edu.
And have you ever wiped with a piece of dry toilet paper and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not. Switch to life-changing wet, extra-large, flushable dude wipes.
Dude wipes.
You can't use them, Monty. They're dude wipes. Because wetter just cleans better. Available at Amazon and at major retailers nationwide. Dude wipes, best clean, pants down. Just kidding. You could use them.
I actually have because I think my mom accidentally bought dude wipes.
Dude wipes.
Great.
They are. I was like, all right, well, at least it smells good.
Minty.
So stick around for Monty's update. We got Papa Bear here. We got Danny G. On the phones at 877-99 on Fox. Of course, we're going to get to Tomlin. I put him and his career and Rodgers sort of together.
As Covino and I said it, from the minute we woke up this morning, Danny, it's been Tomlin. We'll get to it, but I figure let's kick our show off with Aaron Rodgers and a little different twist because
when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, you two can't help yourselves.
I was going to say, I was a little Tomlined out, but now I'm ready to dive in. But let's say hi to Syracuse and Tim. What's up, Tim?
Gentlemen, hi. First-time caller. I'll try to make this quick. I'm calling about the Steelers, and I'm not even a Steeler fan. But my point is this. First of all, the OC, what are you doing? I know you're only given the players you have, and that reflects on what? The GM. So Metcalf is your best player, and you had to buy him. So you don't draft well, and then the OC makes these crazy calls. For example, sprint out Rodgers knowing they're not expecting the run. Simple things. Mm-hmm. But, they don't continue it. And I kind of want to feel bad for Tomlin, but at the end of the day, he allowed all those terrible calls. And Metcalf's a pain in the neck, and I know this, but I just think that there's a lot more to it with the OC and the GM. I'll leave you.
Yeah, it's going to be wild in the
It's not
AFC
all
North.
on Rodgers. It's not all on Tomlin. But
Arthur Smith is their OC, by the way.
Them together collectively, man, put out a stinkeroo last night in the fourth quarter. And
they did it did seem that they were out schemed. And I talked to a longtime Steelers friend of mine this morning, and he said, I love Tomlin because he's kind of like Imano. He's like a man's man, and he has the vibe of my team will just punch your team in the mouth. He said, but what Ben Johnson is proving in Chicago is you could be both tough and smart. And he said, I want a young and upcoming offensive mind that can scheme with, the best of them.
And that's sort of a question I think we're going to get to in a little bit. But let's take one more from Tripp in Vegas, and we'll go to Monty for an update. What's up, Tripp? How are you, man?
I'm good, gentlemen. I got a comment, a question, and a couple of examples. The comment is Monty's always looking good in the 20-year anniversary shirt.
Oh.
And then my question is for Rich. Was it a nervous stomach or a tummy ache?
Tummy ache.
I know that.
I have tummy ache.
Tummy ache.
Tummy ache.
And then my examples were not legacy. They're just bad farewells. Namath got benched. And then I didn't like seeing Muhammad Ali getting knocked out, or not knocked out, but beat by Trevor Burbick. And then Manny Ramirez, where did he go? He just got lost.
Yeah, Manny did get lost in the sauce.
How about Robbie Cano, dude? That's a pretty tragic sort of ending. He was playing for the SpongeBob SquarePants League.
That was the
actually
ultimate.
he had a great season in Mexico. It was last year,
But the
right?
ultimate,
but still,
the ultimate embarrassing moment was when Robbie Cano. You saw him in that minor league. It was SpongeBob night, and here he is, a guy that at one point you're
one of the
Hall
greats,
of Famer,
one of the greats.
Robbie Cano's wearing a SpongeBob shirt.
Yeah,
come on.
Steroids, minor leagues, not the exit you wanted. And then there's so many ways to think about this. And again, it's just life, guys. We're speculating. Who knows how your story's going to end? And I'm not talking about your life. I'm talking about your career. We don't know, so I'm not trying to be mean. But it makes me think of Roseanne and how criticized that got. When
Roseanne was everyone loved her, and then all of a sudden the last now she's a right wing
but it was a double doozy. When the first series ended, wasn't it all a dream? And people were like, wait a second. So the whole storyline was a stupid dream she had? That's how the show ended, right?
Of course.
And then on the comeback of the show, she got swept off. So weak. The weakest.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope that doesn't happen to any of you. All right, Monty, what's going on? Give us a little update, pal.
Guys, Aaron Rodgers is coming back next year. I don't know
how or where or what.
Yeah, but it's going to happen.
The more I let this simmer, I think about how he made it worse by how he acted at the end, and how you have to come back.
You have to come back.
Right?
Also, blame Phillip Rivers. Because if Phillip Rivers came off the couch, he's probably like, if you're going to call me off the couch in week 8, 9, 10, I might as well just play. I think he's playing another year, even though I thought that before the bad ending. It was bad. Didn't it end on a pick 6? Yeah. Wasn't that his last throw?
Yeah.
You can't end that.
And then he missed the guy trying to push him out of bounds.
At least he
it really
tried.
ended with him getting shoved out of bounds.
He really tried, though. At least he tried. Yeah. He went out there.
Yeah.
He tried to tackle him.
But you know what? If it was his last hurrah, that's the reaction I think we would have gotten. Like, hey, guys, I came back from a bad injury. We made the playoffs. I gave it everything I could. Smirk a little bit, shrug. He was too angry to not come back.
I love the shot he gave at the Jets, though. He goes, I've had the honor to play for 2 great organizations.
Yes, he did. He knew what he was saying. All right. Well, Aaron Rodgers, we don't know if he's going to return to the Steelers. We do know Mike Tomlin is not returning to the Steelers. Ouch. He stepped down today after 19 seasons, but all winning seasons, so good for him on that. Eagles have fired offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo after 1 season, so Philadelphia is looking for their 5th offensive coordinator in 5 years. ESPN reports that Marcus Freeman still expected to remain at Notre Dame for the 2026 season. There's a lot of rumors that NFL teams are trying to get him to cross to the dark side. Apparently, he's going to stay. Chargers have fired offensive coordinator Greg Roman and offensive lineman coach Mike Devlin. Brian Dable, former Giants coach, is going to interview for the Titans head coaching job on Friday, while today the Ravens completed an interview with Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores for their head coaching vacancy. When it comes to the NBA, ESPN reports that Anthony Davis is likely to undergo surgery to repair ligament damage in his left hand and miss several months. But AD tweeted, quote, "Y'all better stop listening to all these lies on these apps." Anthony Davis tweeted that after the news came out that he's apparently done for several months. Lakers stars LeBron James and Luka Doncic are questionable for tonight's game against the Hawks. And in case you missed it in baseball, the Diamondbacks are acquiring 8-time All-Star third baseman Nolan Arenado in a trade with the St. Louis Cardinals.
I love how you say Arenado.
Arenado.
You know what I love more than that? The sweet shirt you're wearing.
Oh, thank you.
Know what I would love more than that? If you told me Fred Warner's going to play. But I know it's not going to happen this week.
It's not going to happen this week. They've opened his practice window, but they hope he returns for the NFC title game.
And did you leave out Kyle Tucker to the Mets? Or
that's not for sure yet, but apparently they offered him a deal that's $50 million a year, but the Blue Jays are also in this mix.
The Mets need something to happen.
They do.
Right, we got more Covino Rich. We'll talk a little about everything. In fact, Tomlin, I have a theory about Tomlin. It has to do with wife swapping.
Ooh, sounds juicy.
What? Yes, you heard me. More CNR next, right here.
It all comes down to this. Get this. one game, the best of the best, playing for the Lombardi. So if you're watching at home, watch it like it matters on the TCL Ultimate Series, the QM 8K or the QM 9K.
This is Super Bowl football, man. Bright stadium lights, fast cuts, big hits.
You know this.
Bigger debates. Was he in? Did it move? Did it move? Did it cross the line? TCL brings you from kickoff to the final drive. It's so clear you can almost smell the fresh cut grass.
You see the ball spin on a deep shot, the toe drag on the sideline, no blur, no hold up, run it back, and go big. The Ultimate Series is available in a massive 98-inch class, so every seat is a great seat, not just for the people in the middle.
If you can't be at the stadium, TCL Ultimate Series, the next best seat, available at all major retailers. TCL, the official TV partner of the NFL, here for Super Bowl. Oh, man, no longer Mr. Miami Vice. Mike McDaniel, out! To quote Vince McMahon, you're fired.
I love that. I mean, I don't love that from Mike McDaniel. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Fired. I do a pretty good Vince, right? You're fired. You're fired. And it brings up a good question. You heard Ilo in his update. The consummate professional, Isaac Lowenkron.
He dropped that the Lions have already reached out.
And you know what? What a great idea, because when they lost Ben Johnson, you could tell. Sam, I'll give you credit because I'm not one that needs the credit for myself. You were the first to point out in the beginning of the year that they were missing a little something in Detroit without Ben Johnson. Like something wasn't right offensively.
Thank you. The proprietary spice.
Yeah, and, Mike McDaniel could provide that spice. And here's my thought. My thought is, as much as I love Mike McDaniel, I'm a Niners fan, right? So to me, guys like him and Robert Saleh, I wish they never left. Saleh came back, and I'm like, yes. But do you think there's guys that know you want to get a head coaching job? I get it, right? Who wouldn't want that? But some people are such a great offensive or defensive mind that I almost want you to be like, no, specialize in that. Mike McDaniel could be an offensive coordinator for any team, would be welcoming that guy. But does he reek of head coach to you? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm a fan like you guys are, but I love Mike McDaniel.
When you coached 4 years and you had some success, do you want to make that step back? Is it viewed as a step back? It shouldn't be viewed as a step back if you're great at that.
Not
right?
everyone's John Harbaugh that's going to have 7 teams call you the next day. I think a guy like McDaniel is going to get maybe some interviews, but he will be an offensive coordinator again before he's a head coach again. That's my prediction, at least. But you got to ask yourself, Covino, is there any shame in saying, I'm a really amazing play caller? What he was doing with the Niners offense with Kyle Shanahan, I do wonder that if he did have someone other than Tua, how does Trump say his name? Tua Tagovailoa? If he had someone other than Tua,
Tua Tagovailoa.
That guy, yeah. If he had someone other than Tua, do you think maybe Mike McDaniel could have made that system work a little more? I feel like
the answer is yes.
I feel like it was the personnel, not the schemes. That's why I wonder if
it would have been different.
If he's the offensive, if he's the OC Danny G for Detroit, and he's there, working with Campbell, and he's got Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown, you don't think Mike McDaniel's would flourish?
I don't know. When you're the head coach, you're kind of like the CEO, so all of the team is your responsibility.
Yeah.
Can't just put it on the quarterback. I understand what you're saying. You have a much better chance of keeping your job for a long time if you have a franchise QB.
You know what's cool about the Mike McDaniel thing, though, is he's still 42 years old, so he can go back to being an offensive coordinator, what he's great at, and become a head coach again if that's what he chooses to do in the future.
My other biggest observation about Mike McDaniel, you ever see those pictures of presidents before and after they were the president, and they go from like lively to like look like they got
we've seen that of your coach, Shanahan.
Like usually head coaching, they always say the manager of the Yankees looks like hell after a few years. Usually U.S. presidents look like crap. Mike McDaniel, the reverse. Did you see the first day and last day on the job? He went from like a nerd to like look like a Coke dealer in Miami.
He got a glow up. He got the glow up.
Yeah.
The American Idol glow up. Remember?
We did halfway through the season when there
it wasn't Clay Aiken.
You guys remember, it wasn't even halfway through the season when there were all the rumors flying about him being fired then. And Sam played several of the clips where he just sounded very strange.
Yeah.
Talking
Cryptic,
to
it
was.
And with Danny, I'll be the first to admit, as much as I love Mike McDaniel, I said his goofy, quirky vibe works when you're winning. When you're losing, it's irritating to a fan. They're like, what is this guy talking about? When he's quirky and funny and you're winning, again, very different.
Well, let's go over the numbers and let's pose this question, all right? Fox Sports Radio Nation, the question is, well, what's next for him? You heard Rich, not a head coaching job. So then what's next? What do you think? What team? Any predictions you want to share? He was 35-33 after 4 years, so he had a winning record. Back-to-back winning seasons in 22-23, 7-10 this year. 2 years in a row, no playoff. Knocked out of the ring like Ring King, bro.
Out of the ring.
Bernard Hopkins, man. It was embarrassing.
Funny. Oh,
what a weak exit last night.
Aaron Rodgers, we're sorry that went down like that, but hey, it's the NFL playoffs, man.
He ain't going out like that.
You hit a team that had won 9 in a row. I mean,
yeah, you hit a hot team. It's bound to happen. And, man, they just got clobbered at the end. Hey, Covino and Rich here, by the way. Fox Sports Radio, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, and it's time for our Tire Rack Play of the Day. Speaking of, will this play be the last time we ever see Aaron Rodgers playing on an NFL field?
Oh, boy.
I hope not.
On 4th and 5, Rodgers looks it over. Here's the snap. Rodgers in the pocket. Rodgers flinging it downfield and picked off at the 50. Bullock to his left, 40, 35-30. Bullock, 20. Bullock upended at the sideline, maintains his balance, and runs for pay dirt.
Wow. Courtesy of Texans Radio Network, the Tire Rack Play of the Day, perhaps Aaron Rodgers last. For over 40 years, Tire Rack's been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection. Convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Tire Rack. And keep in mind, this is fresh. We all witnessed this last night. And not everyone has the luxury of going out on top. That's just not how life is, right? Think about every great movie. It really is like a movie, right, with a tragic ending. Every great movie. I'm thinking of my guy from my hometown of Union, New Jersey, Ray Liotta, in the 90 or 91 Goodfellas. Henry Hill, all those guys were on top of the world. I mean, they were committing crimes, but they were living the life. 1990, Goodfellas. They were living the life. What happens at the end with Henry Hill? He's in witness protection in his slippers. This guy was living the high life, making cash money, eating at the best restaurants. And where is he? Again, wearing a robe, reading the paper like he's a nobody from Nowhereville. And that's what he talks about at the end of the movie. That's just how it ends sometimes.
You see it in sports. You see it in life. You see it in entertainment. Sometimes you see some man or woman that's been a baller in the business world, running companies, and then eventually they just got to be removed.
What does Henry Hill say? Look at me now, I'm a schlub. He says something about I'm a schlub, and that's probably how Aaron Rodgers feels. But will we remember that? Is that the lasting memory? No, it won't be. I don't think it will be. So I think he should feel confident in knowing that his legacy stands before him, and he's a Super Bowl champ, and that's really what's going to be remembered at the end of the day. There's no need to come back, but I think there's a chance he will.
I know something that bothers you.
Give it to me.
That Mike Tomlin coached for the Steelers 19 years.
Yeah, I hate that. I do hate that.
Covino's one of those OCD, why not 20?
I thought they were going to have a little, let's go one more, get the 20, get his little Steelers pin.
Get a watch?
and they would agree together, let's go one more year together because they seem to have a good relationship.
Nobody else cares about even numbers.
I do.
Covino, when you listen to a game, does your TV sound have to be on an even number, or do you go by the fives?
I can't do it. Yeah, it has to be by the fives. Fives, every five. Yeah. Fives.
Your volume can't be on 31?
No, I don't like that. No, bothers me.
Go to Covino's house and just mess with his volume.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys, I said Mike Tomlin. I had a thought, and it has to do with, remember that show, Wife Swap?
I do.
I remember Celebrity Wife Swap. Do you remember Celebrity Wife Swap? I feel like there was an episode where it was who's the guy that's saying Rico Suave?
Gerardo
was on there. There was some wild characters on Celebrity Wife Swap. There was one with Ric Flair and Rowdy Piper, one with Flava Flav and Dee Snider. And I bring this up because it's wild. The concept of that show is not dirty and sexual. The concept of the show is live with someone else's spouse for a week or so. And you start to see, hey, maybe where I'm coming up short, or hey, maybe you start to acknowledge what's really great about your partner because they might be better than you think. Like if you and your girlfriend, Covino, did a wife swap with Monsi and her boyfriend, Sean.
Whoa.
Again, nothing kinky.
Say again?
Nothing kinky.
Okay.
Whoa.
But wouldn't there be a sense of, I'm sure there's things that Covino would do where you're like, oh, how annoying. But then there's things where he would do, you'd be like, I wish Sean did that.
Probably.
And you know what? I have a theory on it, and it has to do with coaching, and we'll get to it next.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win? Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all's show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
Changes happening in Pittsburgh. After 19 seasons, Mike Tomlin has informed his team that he is stepping down as the Steelers' head coach. The Eagles have fired offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo after one season. Philadelphia will be looking for their fifth offensive coordinator in 5 years. Former Browns coach Kevin Stefanski is interviewing in person for the Dolphins' head coaching job today, and the Ravens have completed an interview with Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores for their head coaching vacancy. ESPN reports that Marcus Freeman is still expected to remain at Notre Dame for the 2026 season, while the Panthers are picking up the fifth-year option on quarterback Bryce Young. In baseball, the Diamondbacks are acquiring 8-time All-Star third baseman Nolan Arenado in a trade with the Cardinals. In the NBA, Maverick star Anthony Davis is likely to undergo surgery to repair ligament damage in his left hand and miss several months. This is according to ESPN. I'm Monty Bolaños.
Hey, what's up, sports babies?
Are you excited? We're here, CNR on FSR. Are you facing hiring headaches? Staffing your business is complex. High turnover, skills gaps, ever-changing regulations can slow growth and drain resources. That's where Express Employment Pros comes in. With decades of staffing expertise, Express connects you to a larger pool of qualified candidates, helping you reduce turnover and build the right-sized workforce. Get started at expresspros.com.
And if you need to flex your staff for peak seasons or special projects, flex. Express Employment Pros offers contract staffing so you can scale down with ease, preventing burnout, boosting productivity. And if you're worried about compliance, not to be worried about with Express. They stay on top of ever-changing employment laws.
Express is recognized for excellence. The law. Earning clearly rated's Best of Staffing Client and Talent Awards, plus the Diamond Award for Client Satisfaction.
So don't let hiring hold your business back. Visit expresspros.com. Find the local office near you. Find the local office near you. Express Employment Pros can help you hire smarter and faster. And if it's taking away from growing your business, well, get the support you need from Express.
You turned into Adam Sandler.
What was that?
Don't
spend your time reading through spam online applicants. Hire faster with Express. Express Employment Pros, building your workforce, supporting your success. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio with Danny G. He's on the phones at 877-99 on Fox. And remember that number because we're going to play Showboy Mahomes trivia this hour, giving away prizes. Papa Bear's here on the ones and twos. Spotty's on the videos. Monty's hanging out with the CNR T-shirt. Monty, I'd wear a Monty T-shirt if you got me one. Just know that.
Well, now I'm gonna.
Just know that. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. There's so much to get to, Rich. I know you had a theory.
Well, yeah, you know, I said before the break, you've all seen the show or heard of it, Wife Swap. Nothing dirty. I'm not talking sexual. Like, there was the celebrity wife swap. And the whole idea is you get to see where you're coming up short and where you are really doing well. Like, you know, if you were to, quote, wife swap with your girlfriend, with another couple, like I said, like Monty and her boyfriend or something, isn't there a sense where you're sure there'd be things where Monty would say, yeah, I wish you did that like Covino. But then there's other things she'd be like, oh, my God, thank God I'm not with Covino because he's annoying when he does this.
Yeah, this is
an
awkward situation.
No, but you get to see the pros and cons. And I'm sure there's things that Monty would do that you wish your girlfriend did and vice versa.
This goes back to that classic Yankees pitcher story, the Fritz Peterson, Mike Kekich story.
They swapped wives for real.
Yeah, in real life.
Really?
They switched kids, lives, dogs. Like they traded families.
For the purpose of what?
Love.
For the purpose of love.
No, this is not like an experiment. They actually
it's one of the wildest stories. Yeah, it's a true story about Yankees players who switched families.
I bring this up.
1972.
Joking, but not. The AFC North is now a division of like vacancies with coaches. Do you think in a world where Kevin Stefanski, Mike Tomlin, and John Harbaugh just essentially, quote, wife swapped, they team swapped, is there a team that you think would come out with an upper hand? Like, do the math however you want. Like, let's say you bring Stefanski into Pittsburgh or Mike Tomlin. You put him in Baltimore. Is there a scenario where any of these guys...
When you say swap, it just sounds so dirty. When you say switcheroo, it sounds more innocent.
Oh, the coach switcheroo then?
So you're saying if Tomlin and Harbaugh did a switcheroo? When you say swap, I feel like they're really getting down and dirty with each other's like wives.
Rich, for both teams, it depends who the OC is going to be. Because last hour we said, it's all about the schemes, not just being tough, but outsmarting your opponent on the field with, how you're drawing up the plays. You got to be a modern offense nowadays.
Are there switcheroos? I want to keep it clean here on Fox Sports Radio. Are there switcheroos that come to mind where that panned out?
Well, give me a all right. I only could remember in recent history, and you know what? Good thing we have a room full of 5 brainiacs here. I can only think of a few straight-up trades that it's like, oh, I get what they did there. And Goff Stafford comes to mind.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic for sure.
At the time, Goff was a throwaway in that trade.
Goff was, he went to a Super Bowl, but they laid an egg against the Patriots, and he was a top pick. He gets shipped off to Detroit, and all of a sudden reinvents himself.
Becomes like a hero there. They love him.
Him and Dan Campbell get along. His wife is beautiful. Stafford comes to sunny L.A. where he feels like he belongs, wins the Super Bowl. And I feel like both organizations would probably say, you know what?
Yeah, that was a QB swap.
We benefited from this. Switcheroo.
I'm sorry, switcheroo. Yeah.
Is there any other, quote, swap or
I think
switcheroo?
That's really a great example to start with for sure because it doesn't always work that way. That's the point we're getting at.
And I'm certainly not saying those two coaches and those two teams make sense. But I think there was even a joke about it in a press conference today with the Steelers or Ravens where it was like, what if you took Tomlin and they took Harbaugh? Or like, they are two highly sought after.
Can I give you like the most random example? It's not sports related though. You gonna be mad at me? Don't hit me, Rich.
Oh, why would I be?
Because I know you get really angry. So I just threw this out there and I can't believe it was more of it was a switcheroo. Yeah, I work in rock radio. That's how I came up in my career, right? Rock radio, K-Rock New York, Octane Turbo, Sirius XM, Ozzy's Boneyard.
Right, we get it. Your resume is stellar.
Rock superstar, rock tycoon. Anyway, I had a 7-string autographed orgy RG Series Ibanez guitar.
I thought you said you were done talking about wife swaps.
No, the band orgy.
Oh, okay.
Right? So you follow me? I had a 7-string brand new guitar. 7-string guitar. But it was autographed by Orgy. I didn't give a diddly squat about Orgy. That's the truth. But I had a brand new sweet guitar.
Okay.
But I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I was walking down the hallway because I happened to have it. I had it at work, autographed.
Mm-hmm.
And I threw it out there to our boy Jose. I said, Jose's another rock guy at Sirius XM. Dude, how about we do a switcheroo? And I just was joking. He had an autographed, same brand, Ibanez RG Series, autographed Korn guitar. But it was just a regular 6-string Korn guitar, autographed by the whole band, right? Jose, trade you this Orgy guitar, 7-string for that Korn one. And I thought he'd be like, brother, you're crazy. Because it's Korn, right? You know what he said? Brother, no way. I was looking for a 7-string. He wanted the one that I had. I wanted the one that he had. It's a switcheroo that still like warms me up inside every time I see that autographed Korn guitar that I have. Because I wanted that, but he needed the 7-string because he wanted one.
So
it was like the ultimate switcheroo.
The Korn and Orgy guitar is the best example we could come up with other than Stafford Goff, is what you're saying?
Because it worked out for both people. You know what I mean? Like, wow, you really wanted that?
I've never seen Covino get up and be so excited to tell a story.
Because you believe I have the sweet like Korn guitar, and he actually wanted like Orgy. I mean, no disrespect. I mean, people like them, but Orgy? They got Blue Monday, Digital Bath, or whatever, Dreaming in Digital. So anyway, switcheroos do pan out sometimes, Rich. But not all the time. That's the thing. If it was such an easy answer, your Goff, you know what I mean? Like your Goff Stafford answer, there'd be more to them. And I can't think of that many where the swap was that successful.
Right now, it's a lopsided swap.
See, swap sounds dirty, right?
We were in Vegas, and I remember because the whole casino was murmuring. Is that the right word?
Whispering.
Murmuring. when Anthony Davis for Luka.
Yeah,
and that is turning out to be a swapperoo, a switcheroo, where Anthony Davis not living up to his side of the bargain now, especially injured again. So
yeah, it didn't pan out.
We were in a late night pizza line inside the casino, and it was crazy. Like everybody was on sports apps on their phone.
Like, what is going on? Wait, AD, Luka,
and looking at each other like, this is real. This is for real.
So I mean, when that happened, I remember having a hard time thinking of, in the world of sports, like straight up trades that weren't like one guy for 7 players to be named later and prospects. Like, when was the last time? Because this happened, I feel like, way more in our childhood and our parents' childhood, where players were traded. We live in more of a free agent world now, and like, you know, trade deadline, your team's out of it, so you'll give away your big star whose contract's up for like the
most of the time, Rich, it benefits one team or one person more than the other. Think about it.
I have a question. If you are a Steelers
it's
fan,
rarely where they both benefited.
Give me a team
from that swap.
Give me a team with a coaching vacancy that would say, you know what, I do want Mike Tomlin. Like, I have Jet fan friends that are like, oh man, let's go after Tomlin. Like, I'm not saying it's someone else's trash, but it's like that relationship is over.
I feel like a lot of teams, I feel like the Raiders might like Mike Tomlin.
I feel like Tomlin would be a good fit for you guys. Danny.
They would if you could get a Kubiak type as your OC, even Kingsbury, who they tried to get a couple seasons ago but couldn't agree on a contract. Again, that's the key. Like, you need a bright young mind in that OC chair.
Can you imagine Mike Tomlin and Fernando Mendoza with the Raiders?
Yeah, but I just feel like
that would be nice.
I feel like we're stereotyping slightly only because Mike Tomlin's such a tough guy and it goes with the Raider brand. But I don't know if he goes with that.
That's not a bad thing.
But I don't know if he goes with that team, perhaps, and the personnel.
That team doesn't know what it's doing. It needs a whole change.
Well, that actually
calm down, Chargers fan. Okay.
Listen, am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm not telling. Am I
Perhaps
wrong?
not.
Did you tell Justin Herbert that's what happens when you're not nice to reporters?
Listen, Justin. Let's not talk about Justin Herbert, you guys. He was
hold
ass.
on. We do have 2 Raider fans in here, oddly enough, Danny G and Big Sexy Ryan, Raiders fans. What is the solution when you have Tom Brady as part of that, decision-making process now? You have the quarterback possibly of your future if you go with Mendoza. You have Genti, you have Brock Bowers. You need a coach and a line, right? You need an offensive line and a coach, correct?
Yeah, you got to start by beefing up both lines, the O-line and the D-line, to give Crosby some help.
I agree, and I cannot comment about Tom Brady because I want to keep my job and he works here, so I can't really say anything about that.
How are you not happy?
I thought he worked at Pizza Hut. I saw him delivering pizza.
Pizza Hut. No? Okay.
Well, look,
Such a good commercial.
You do have Brady to mentor Mendoza, and Mendoza, that clip has gone viral where he says Tom Brady is his dream dinner date.
Of course.
To pick his brain because that was his hero growing up. Those two together, that's a perfect match. Tomlin coming in, what I love about Tomlin, he sets a tone. Like, he could be the first guy off the bus. Not a big O-lineman. Tomlin could be the first guy off the bus. And you're like, that team means business right there.
Yep.
Our boy K-Rain19 on the YouTube chat, Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube says, yo, I take Tomlin in the ATL. So, yeah, he's definitely going to have some options. But there's also a theory that maybe he hits the broadcast booth. So we don't know what's going to happen. That'll be interesting. And Scott from Mayor says, NBA does the switcheroos all the time. Agreed. Great one, recent one, Luka, AD. Could have benefited both teams, but AD was too hurt. It didn't benefit. And we're questioning even if he's available now, today, as we speak. So it doesn't always benefit both teams. That's the point. It's a one-sided deal. Shout out to Michelle M., Joey Elbows, Wes in Idaho. Lots of people chiming in, Rich, on the chat. Brandon Davis, El Canalito, Wilhelmina Kreider. A lot of people hitting us up at Covino and Rich FSR.
Well,
Jamie in Boston, thank you.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
A little tier 2 of this Tomlin question because, people are talking about this ad nauseum today. Mike Tomlin, 19 years, Harbaugh out, Stefanski. I mean, you could go through the vacancies in the National Football League. Mike McDaniels. I mean, there's a ton of them. When you're a team, and I heard Colin say this, so I got to give Colin credit. Stars.
I heard Colin say stars.
Colin Cowherd said something, and I will say, got to give credit where credit's due. Colin, with his monologues, he brings it. So I'll quote our good pal, Mr. Cowherd. He was saying, when you look at the NFL this coming weekend, That's a good point. And I feel like we all feel the same way. Colin just put it into star terms. When you look at the games you're looking at this weekend.
Amazing games. Bills, Broncos, Niners, Seahawks, Texans, Pats, Rams, Bears.
He said it best with this analogy, in Cowherd style. Niners, Seahawks. You're thinking Shanahan versus what Mike McDaniel could do defensively. When you look at a Texans, Patriots, you're like, ooh, D'Amico Ryans versus Rabel with his little busted lip and everything. When you talk about Rams and Bears, Sean McVay, Ben Johnson, a battle of the minds.
I'm also thinking veteran MVP quarterback versus hot shot in a zone making big plays, Caleb Williams. But I get it. You're talking coaches.
And he said the other game, Bills Broncos, you're talking Josh Allen versus Sean Payton. McDermott's the one coach that doesn't seem to be as big of a factor. So if you're a coach,
okay.
he's saying that if you're a team like the Raiders, like the Browns, like the Jets, like one of these teams that's perpetually trying to figure it out, it's so clear that of the 8 teams left, they are great coaches. Like you can't swing and miss on a coach time after time. You need to. He was talking about investing a little extra money in your head coach because it's such a big decision. And Danny, forget Cowherd. We talked a while back about how it seems like if you somehow crack the code on the quarterback head coach combo, that could carry you for a decade in the NFL.
Yeah, at least get you to the first round of the playoffs.
You could be perpetually in the playoffs if you crack the code and say this quarterback coach combo is legit. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think when you look at Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, you could argue that just from seeing the little sample of 1 year, unless something goes wrong there, they could be that quarterback.
I think they cracked in Jacksonville too.
Liam Cohen and now Trevor Lawrence has someone like Cohen?
I think because they turned it around, they looked solid.
Andy Reid and Mahomes for all those years. Bill Walsh and Joe Montana. Belichick and Brady. Like that head coach quarterback combo. It's like the pizza flavored combo, your favorite.
Pizza flavor combo was the best combo.
So just a reminder that all these teams searching for a head coach, you got to ask yourself, do you want that next creative new brain of football that no one knows about?
Well, hold on. This poses a whole other question that we were getting at.
Yeah, or do you go to the well for that veteran that's been there? Like, I don't know.
So if you want to chime in on the switcheroos that actually worked, could it be a Tomlin Harbaugh swap switcheroo? Yeah. People are talking about that. They're few and far between where it benefits both. I think we established that, right? But during the conversation, it was brought up. Would you rather, let's say you're a young player in the NFL. You're a Mendoza entering the league. Would you rather play for a young coach or an old veteran like a Mike Tomlin?
That's an interesting question. Like, I'm.
If you're Fernando Mendoza, you want to play for. You want to start fresh and grow and learn with someone coming up. Be on the same page together and build something together, or do you want to work under a guy who's been there, done that? And just make it work.
Well, isn't there value
like a Harbaugh or Tomlin?
There's value in both.
There is value, but what would you prefer? I mean, it's case by case. You personally, Rich, would you rather work for some older veteran or a guy who's on your page?
Damn, I got to think about that for a second.
In a way, you and I have the best of both worlds, to be honest, personally.
You got to ask yourself.
Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it. If you're a young guy entering the league, or you're a young quarterback like a Trevor Lawrence who couldn't find his way until he got Liam Cohen, do you want to find the next Liam Cohen or Ben Johnson or bright young football mind, or do you want to play under a Belichick or Tomlin or Harbaugh, a guy that's been here decades?
Think about it. I mean, it's different in football, but look what happened with the White Sox and Tony La Russa, for example.
Look at Pete Carroll this year.
Sometimes these older guys
Oakland,
aren't speaking the language.
Pete Carroll's a great example of maybe it doesn't work anymore. Maybe, he's in his 70s chewing gum, enthusiastic, but maybe it's like, maybe that time has come and gone.
That's a great example, yeah. Great example.
Your thoughts, Tomlin, Steelers, switcheroos. Do you want the young guy? Do you want the old guy? And to answer your question, I'm wondering, if I was a Fernando Mendoza coming out of college and I have an opportunity to play for the Raiders, which is likely, right? And the Raiders, I can only imagine they wouldn't not take Mendoza? I know some people say maybe they'll trade it. You got to take Mendoza.
I don't see how they can't.
Oh, he's just when you watch the championship game on Monday, just imagine him in a Raiders uniform.
But with him and, like I said, Gentry and Brock Bowers, you spend all your free agency money and all your other draft picks on line, offensive, defensive line, maybe find a wide receiver in the mix somewhere that's high value. Like
in free agency, they need a wide receiver one.
Go after a wide receiver one, but just line. If you're Mendoza and you have all these weapons, Tom Brady as a mentor, the Davis family who's willing to do things, do you want a young football mind or do you want a 20-year Tomlin or Harbaugh type? I don't know. I mean, I wish I could give you an answer. I'm trying to think. If you're a young kid, what would you want, Danny?
Well, if you think about what Mendoza is used to, Tomlin could work because Cignetti, the coach for Indiana, he's no nonsense.
Love him.
He is a Tomlin type coach.
Well, it just depends the type of player you are. I'm thinking of the John Elway documentary, how like him and Dan Reeves were not vibing. But when Mike Shanahan got into the picture, young dude on his page, they connected, they gelled, and that worked out.
Yeah, how much do you think they talked about Reeves behind his back?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That was my sentiment. My
But
sentiment after watching that documentary was how many lunches Mike Shanahan and John Elway had where like, yo, Dan Reeves is old as hell.
Without a doubt.
They hated him.
Yeah, like Elway didn't like playing for him. So I think it just depends what type of guy you are and how it works and the chemistry. I think that's truly what matters. But, you know, what do you think? What's your thoughts here?
I have a collusion question. I don't know if anyone in the room has the ability to answer this because we're just fun-loving guys. But do you think that knowing that you're going to go with Mendoza, is it in weird taste to even – could the Raiders – I don't think the Raiders could technically reach out to him, can they?
No.
And the Raiders can't wait that long, but I wonder who. Like,
and he doesn't have social media, so they can't even slide into
I'm not
his DM.
sure what the rules are with the agents and all that stuff behind the scenes, and you know that happens.
I do wonder if, like, subliminally is like, blink twice if you want to play for Mike Tomlin. I don't know, because, you know, young guys might have like a preference, but it seems like Mendoza would roll with anyone, you know?
It seems like he's so enamored with Tom Brady, though, that Tom Brady could take him to lunch after they draft him and be like, this is the guy that's going to lead you in the right direction, and that would sell Mendoza right away on whoever the Raiders pick.
All right. Well, hey, your thoughts. We are broadcasting live, as you know, from the Fox Sports Radio studio, and our show sponsored by our good friends who we saw in Vegas when we were hanging, our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and NBA. And right now, use promo code CRSHOW. You can claim your special offerings at DraftKings. Again, that's code CRSHOW at DraftKings. The crown is yours, and that college football little pool, the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you and I did very well, did we?
No.
FoxSportsRadio.com. One lucky listener will win that $1,000 in the best bracket. And right now, Kerry Rhodes, who we just saw before, he filled in earlier today. He's in the lead, and one incorrect pick by him. But there's people that are still perfect in the bracket. Visit FoxSportsRadio.com to check out the leaderboard.
All right, DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is turning up the stakes. Stakes. For every DraftKings customer, with over $2.5 million in prizes up for grabs every Sunday during NFL playoffs.
Open the DraftKings Sportsbook app. I'll do that right now. Opt in. Place a live bet of $1 or more on Sunday's NFL playoff games, and every live bet means another chance to win. Place a bet, a live bet, and you can stack your entries all Sunday long.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Do it now.
Do it.
And use code CRSHOW, CRSHOW, bet live for your share of $2.5 million in prizes with code CRSHOW.
Do it.
In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Just do it.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states, void in Ontario, restrictions apply. No purchase necessary. 3 sweepstakes with separate opt-ins. Minimum odds -500. Prizes either bonus bets that expire in 7 days or single-use profit boost. See official rules at dkng.co/live millions for entry period and free method of entry. Sponsored by Crown Gaming, Inc.
Fernando Mendoza, he's all the buzz, especially this weekend.
I often wonder if we didn't do what we did, if we weren't on iHeart and Fox and all the things we do, would I be on social media as much? Do I use it as an excuse? Like, well, it's for work. Like, or would I just still be like scrolling? I don't know.
Oh, man, it's killing our brains. Our attention spans is so bad. It's getting worse. And you have to ask yourself, when you're on and when you're posting, am I sharing or bragging? Right? Because you see a lot of bragging, but you're still watching and it's gross and then you hate yourself afterward. But this weekend, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, number 5 Oregon at number 1 Indiana, Fernando Mendoza is all the buzz. And he said this week that he has no social media. And I want to know, in today's world, when you see a young player who says everything right and seems so likable, when he says something like this, do you say, right on, man, I like him even more? Or do you think something else? Take a listen.
And keep it to my process and keep it to my routine and not change it too much, and also not really having social media. I only have LinkedIn and YouTube on my phone right now. It's really helped put things in perspective and keep all the opinions of in the building opinions. So I'm not online reading, oh, Fernando's great, Fernando sucks. I'm listening to what my quarterback coach, Coach Chandler Whitmer, says and thinks, and what the quarterbacks in our room think. So that is where my focus is, and that's how I've been able to play my best football so far. And
first of all, can I get the obvious out of the way? I do want to applaud him.
Maturity.
For the maturity.
Wow.
Daring to be different, putting it down, having the restraint, the discipline, for being a great role model. I mean, he's so lovable, this kid. But at the same time, because what we're learning, Rich, as we mature, is that two things can be true, right? Yeah. So for as much as I commend him, and I do.
That's, not being on social media when you're the starting quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner, with all the options in the world, and probably partnerships that want to do business with you, and they're like, oh, but you're not on social. Like, it's
how about just curiosity, right? Yeah. What are people saying? Who's interested in me? All
he's
these
a bigger
things.
Man.
I do find it more odd being a young person to not have a social media footprint.
Yeah, I have some buddies that are younger, that are in the dating world, and if they bump into a girl and they tell a woman, yeah, I'm just not on social, that's like a red flag. Like, what do you mean you're not on social? Like, they think you're hiding something, like you're a serial killer.
I think it's an immediate red flag in today's world, because you don't have to use it, right? Because we tend to abuse it. But if you don't have a presence, if you don't have an Instagram, if you don't have a Facebook page, I understand TikTok may be too young, or Snapchat too young for some of you, but if you don't have it, it says that you're trying to hide something in a weird way. No, like people that I know that don't have these things makes me say, like I have an ex-girlfriend, seriously.
Who are you running from?
Yeah, no, but I have one ex-girlfriend. You can't find her online.
She murdered someone.
No image search, no nothing, no social media. And it, you know what it says to me? What happened?
Never got over you.
Yeah, man, I must have really...
She gained 200 pounds just sitting there eating ice cream, thinking about Steve Covino.
I
miss him.
Ruined this poor woman.
I miss him.
No, but you know what? It says to me that she's hiding from something. She's running away from the world. And it might not mean that, but it does scream that if you think about it.
You know what I find funny? Did you hear what he said he does have? YouTube, so he does watch videos.
Yeah.
He said LinkedIn. What is he, applying for a job after college? Like, hey, Raiders, hold your pick. I have an interview with this accounting firm. LinkedIn?
You know what's ironic about that?
Do you have a LinkedIn?
We're radio bozos for a living. I don't have a LinkedIn. I have everything else. I don't have a LinkedIn, which is ironic about the whole thing, because he has one. And what's he using it for? I don't know. To connect, I guess. But yeah, maybe endorsement deals could go through that. But he's got agents for that and people guiding him the right way. You know, what does it say to you when you meet someone in today's world if they have no social media? Does it matter how old they are?
Can we break down the different social medias real quick?
Yeah, I think we should. And I do think it matters how old they are, because I do see a pushback of kids. You know how kids are like, we don't go to Facebook because they think that's for old people. They're trying to put it down a little bit more and live life. They want more memories. They want more tangible. They want more substance. They're at least trying, because they know that something's not right with the way we're living now. CNR on FSR, Covino and Rich. Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. Join the fun. Covino and Rich FSR. Right now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio in Los Angeles. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. The phones are lit. 877-99 on Fox. What is today? Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
Well, you know what that means. That means it's time for Showtime Mahomes trivia.
The mostly lovable Patrick Mahomes.
Truth is, I want everybody to love me, not just the refs.
It's time for some NFL trivia.
I'm here.
Yes, we know you're here.
All right, Patrick Mahomes here to play Showtime Mahomes trivia.
All right, FSR Security walking our broke Patrick into the main studio.
Hey, Pat, what's up?
Rough game for Rodgers, huh? Rough game for Rodgers.
Yes.
Can't go out like that. I keep telling Kelsey, can't go out like that.
It's weird to not have you in the postseason.
It's weird for me, too. I'm kind of bored. And by the way, you're talking about switcheroos. I was thinking about switching Jackson, my brother, maybe for your brother. Any brother will do. Maybe Covino's brother, Tommy. Yeah.
Hey, there you are.
Switcheroo. Hey, what's up, Monty? Whoa, mama.
Right.
Oh, hello.
Hey, by the way, Patrick Mahomes here. What's up?
Yeah, we know.
By the way, where's my football? Where's my turbo football?
We'll make sure you take one home. All right, let's meet the contestants. 27-time winner Rich Davis right over there.
Hey, what's up?
In for 22-time champion Dan Byer. It's Monty Bolaños.
That's right.
Hey, Monty, you got any sour bread recipes? Because I'm bored at home doing nothing.
I don't. I think T Swift does.
And 10-time winner Spotty Boy. Looking to make it magic number 11.
Yeah, why not?
All right, looking to win a CNR Nerf football on the studio lines. The first one through was Butch in Pensacola, Florida. He's actually on vacation there.
What's up, Butchie?
Listening to us.
What's up?
Hey, Butch.
Hey, Butch.
Oh, Brian.
Butch, what are you guys doing for fun there in Florida?
Well, my kids are in the pool right now, and just hanging out. We live in Hawaii. I don't know.
That's a great question. When you live in Hawaii, where do you vacation?
Yeah.
I know. I told my
Fiji.
wife that yesterday. I'm like, why are we here? We went to the beach.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, glad you're going to play for a prize here. Rules for Showtime Mahomes NFL Trivia. The first contestant with 2 correct answers is the champ. If there's a tie, we do have a tiebreaker question. Your name is your buzzer, but you got to wait until all 3 possible answers are read. If there's 2 wrong answers in a row, we move on to the next question. Are you ready?
I cannot lose to Kermit the Frog.
Let's get it on.
Here we go.
All right, Butch. Here you go. Now I'm going to make them extra hard. All right, so I'm here, Patrick Mahomes.
Hi, Patrick.
And these players wish they had the twitch I have. Which 2 players are tied for the NFL's longest TD run in league history?
Ooh.
Is it A, Tony Dorsett and Derrick Henry?
Tony Dorsett.
What?
Come on!
Settle down there, Butch.
Butch.
Wait till I give out all the answers.
I just explained you have to wait for all 3 answers to be read.
They never listen.
Sorry.
All right.
Okay.
Got to clean your ears out. Somebody give this guy some Q-tips. All right. B, Bo Jackson and Corey Dillon. Or C, Amon Green and Adrian Peterson.
Butch.
Tony Dorsett, 99 yards.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry.
Wow,
yes.
okay.
The
I forgot Derrick Henry got
There
one.
you go.
No,
you got it.
You
Yeah,
got it.
you got it, though. They were tied. They're tied.
Okay.
All right, Butch. Take a deep breath.
Good
Danny,
job. Good job.
Get this guy another
you.
Miami Vice.
Yeah. Go back to the beach.
All right.
Colada for Butch.
Butch is on fire already. He's 1 for 1. All right.
What?
We go.
What?
We go to round 2.
Sorry, that was Dave Chappelle.
All right.
Just a joke.
Round 2.
In the Chicago Bears classic Super Bowl shuffle.
Oh, shit.
Oh, come on!
To hear what he said, catch the podcast. We're going to have to dump that.
Okay.
But we ain't here to start no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
Well,
Yes.
Which player said he was as smooth as a chocolate swirl? Was it A, Walter Payton, B, Willie Gault, or C, Mike Richardson?
Ooh.
Suddenly, Butch is quiet.
Ooh, Butch, what do you think? Rich.
Oh.
I'll give it a shot. Walter Payton.
No, incorrect.
Willie Gault.
Well,
We had another shot! Come on!
It's everyone's first
Hey,
day.
everybody looked at me like cross-eyed. Well, I'm waiting for you to say something.
This is why you're not in the playoffs.
We are the Bears shuffling crew. Shuffle on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good. Blowing your minds like I knew we would.
That's pretty good.
That's great, Patrick.
I played the saxophone because McMahon played it.
All right, so Butch is the only one on the board. So we go to round 3 right now.
All right, round 3. What was I once quoted saying about work ethic? A, Rich has none. I mean, A, I always want to be the hardest worker in the room. B, hard work is me trying to figure out what to bribe Sean Hockley with.
There it is.
To call less penalties on us in a game. Or C, the moment you stop working is the moment your competition pulls a double shift.
Butch.
Ooh, Butch.
A.
A is right.
Yes.
Boom, like that. Yeah. Butch is a winner.
Hey, Butch, appreciate you, man.
Hey, you guys, hey, congratulations, Butch. Any shows for me to watch, like Landman, or what do you guys recommend? I'm so damn bored right now.
His and Hers with John Bernthal.
I'm not
I just started watching that.
I'm not used to lamping around doing nothing around playoff time, so any suggestions, let me know.
Hold on, Spot, you started watching?
I did.
That's good so far, right?
Yeah. I finished it. In the middle, it gets kind of corny and cheesy, but see it through.
But you said something else was corny and cheesy that I liked. What was it?
A very corny and cheesy show that you always like.
All Her Fault on Peacock. Did you watch that?
No, it's the one with the football guy.
Oh, Chad Powers.
Yep, that's the one.
Cheesy.
All
yeah,
right.
they go to Hawk to a girl, and I'm like, all right, I'm out.
All right.
Do they?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I got things to do. Well, actually, I got nothing to do right now. So maybe I'll hang out. You know what? I'll hang out in the lobby and I'll eat some of the snacks over there. But thanks for having me.
Thank you.
And I'll just be chilling because I got nothing else to do right now.
And congratulations, Butch. We're gonna get your info
Later,
and
Butch.
mail you a football to Hawaii.
Later,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks, Mr. Potty Mouth.
Later, guys.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Patrick.
All right. Hey,
You know, man, Mahomes looks sort of depressed.
A little bit.
I don't think he could handle not playing this time of year. But it's always great to see broke showboy Mahomes.
Scott said double win for Butch. He won a prize and dropped the S-bomb on national radio. All right, let's go to Monty for an update.
No,
Monty.
he didn't. We caught it.
Oh, you caught it? Okay.
We did catch it.
All right. What's up, Bolaños?
Good job over there, Ryan. Catching that. Doing your job.
Papa Bear.
Guys, changes happening in Pittsburgh after 19 seasons. Mike Tomlin has informed his team that he's stepping down as the Steelers head coach. He is still under contract, by the way, so the Steelers are going to have his coaching rights. They could negotiate some compensation if he returns to the sideline before the end of the 2027 season. The Eagles have fired offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo after one season. This will be since college into the NFL. This will be Jalen Hurts' 11th play caller in his career. Even though there's a lot of openings in the NFL, ESPN is reporting that Marcus Freeman is expected to remain at Notre Dame for the 2026 season. Former Giants coach Brian Daboll is going to interview for the Titans head coaching job on Friday, and former Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski is interviewing for the Dolphins head coaching job today. The Panthers are picking up the fifth-year option on quarterback Bryce Young. The 49ers are opening the practice window for Pro Bowl linebacker Fred Warner with the hope that he could return for the NFC title game if San Francisco reaches that. When it comes to the NBA, Lakers stars LeBron James and Luka Doncic are questionable for tonight's game against the Atlanta Hawks, and ESPN is reporting that Anthony Davis of the Mavericks is likely to undergo surgery to repair ligament damage in his left hand and miss several months, but AD has tweeted that is not true. He even said, y'all better stop listening to all these lies on these apps. That is what Anthony Davis has said to that. When it comes to baseball, the Diamondbacks are acquiring 8-time All-Star third baseman Nolan Arenado in a trade with the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Kansas City Royals are moving in most of the fences at Kauffman Stadium by 10 feet. They're lowering their height also with the hopes of creating a more hitter-friendly ballpark, since it's the toughest park to hit a home run in.
I don't hate that.
I don't either. At this point, the fans want that, right?
Yeah.
More action in the stands. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Monty.
Nolan Arenado.
I
was looking up his stats with Covino a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, again, I don't want to, we don't want to be negative, guys. We talked about Aaron Rodgers and how he just fell off, and last night was a terrible farewell, if that's what it was.
It was, though.
Nolan Arenado has a chance now to have a bounce-back season, because you look at Arenado's stats, that guy, I know it was Colorado, and some say those are inflated stats, but that guy was good for 30 to 40 bombs, 100-plus ribbies, and he batted around 300 or more consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Even in St. Louis, great. Last year, missed 50 games, batted .230 something, 12 home runs. So, I hope for his sake he has a little more gas in the tank.
No, yeah, his stock was still high.
Yeah.
Teams still wanted him.
I think there's a little more there.
I mean, you hope, but that's not always the case, and that's life. Such is life, such is sports, and that's what happens. And by the way, the KD story too, like don't believe the apps, it's really a problem. I mean, AI and what to believe, what not to believe, and fake stories and fake news, but especially with sports. Are you just flooded with like BS trade reports constantly and like BS sports news? Because I am.
To tie it into music, I saw Blake Shelton came out yesterday and said, anything you hear about him and Gwen Stefani is BS. He goes, dude, he said, like, dude, I read the paper and go online and social media every day. And every day I'm hearing about how me and Gwen are breaking up, get back together, breaking up, get back together. And he goes, I've never seen anything that was legit. So he goes, I don't believe anything when it comes to sports, entertainment, music, anything. So
all right.
That's why we have you, Monsi.
Thank you, Monsi. We
try.
believe you. We believe in Monsi. All right, so we're Covino and Rich, and we have more NFL to talk about, so stick around here on Fox Sports Radio. Are you facing hiring headaches, Rich? Well, staffing your business is complex. High turnover, skills gaps, and ever-changing regulations can slow growth and drain resources.
Oh, well, that's where Express Employment Professionals comes in to help. With decades of staffing expertise, Express connects you with a larger pool of qualified candidates, helping you reduce turnover and building the right size workforce. Start right now at expresspros.com.
Need to flex your staff for peak seasons or special projects? Express Employment Professionals offers contract staffing so you can scale up or down with ease, preventing burnout and boosting productivity. Worried about compliance? Express stays on top of ever-changing employment laws.
Express recognized for excellence, earning clearly rated Best of Staffing Client and Talent Awards, plus the Diamond Award for Client Satisfaction. Don't let hiring challenges hold your business back. Visit expresspros.com to find the local office near you and discover how Express Employment Pros can help you hire smarter and faster.
If hiring is taking you away from your growing business, get the support you need from Express. Don't spend your time weeding through spam online applicants. Hire faster with Express. Express Employment Pros, building your workforce, supporting your... Want to talk some of the craziest sports flexes? I know you have some things on your mind, Rich.
Yeah, I mean this Wemby thing. You saw it before me because I was like, wait, what are you guys looking at here? And I'm like, is his foot? What?
Well, like put it in perspective. Growing up, this is when you realize, well, I guess I'm never gonna make it in the NBA. Like if you could touch the rim, that was an accomplishment. First, like you hit the bottom of the net, you're like, all right, I'm getting some ups here.
Yeah, Covino told us he touches rim just standing up.
No.
Not toilet. Not toilet.
Oh, you're just thinking playground, right?
Honestly, you're
gymnasium, high school.
You're absolutely right. If you're just horsing around with your buddies at gym class or at the playground,
you started with the bottom. You're like, all right, I got the bottom.
I'm not going to BS it. None of my friends could slam dunk, but it was a bragging right to be like, yo, you could touching rim was like, all right.
Touching rim was you had some ups.
Touching rim meant you were like roughly 6 foot and like you had some skills. Like, oh, I could touch rim.
And then
I can't
they
dunk.
started mass producing those adjustable rims. Everyone had one. You lower it down to 8 feet. You start slamming, jamming, rip roaring, and ramming. All right, that was a game changer. But for most regular people, you barely touch rim. And now you got freaks in the NBA like Wembanyama. This dude could lift his leg.
He karate kicks it.
He could karate kick the rim.
Do you understand what we're saying here?
That's why I'm putting it in perspective. We couldn't even jump with our hands held high and hit the rim barely. This guy lifts his leg up, a little crane kick like Daniel LaRusso, and he touches it with his big toe.
Look at it this way. We've seen things where it's like, yo, you've seen a guy hit his head on the backboard where you're like, yo, he's so tall that he went up for a rebound and misjudged it, and he,
ups.
Yo, sometimes
I used to pray for ups, never got any.
Danny, you've seen players like hit their head.
Oh yeah,
on like the lower part of the backboard because it just they're so big. But
LeBron was trending the other night because on one of his dunks, his head was at the rim, just above the rim, and people were like, this freak is 41 and his head's above the rim still.
To think like just a regular guy. If we went to the basketball court right now at the gym across the street, if I told you, Covino, take off from the free throw line and see if you see like how close you would even get, and then think like Michael Jordan and guys like that were taking off and dunking from there and doing pump fakes and you jump, your feet are on the ground like that quick.
So when we're seeing guys like Wembanyama now able to put their foot up to the rim, what are some other crazy sport flexes that come to mind? I got a few. I got some fun ones and some legit ones. Like what comes to mind immediately is Kurt Hennig, how he would throw a pass and catch the pass to himself because he was Mr. Perfect. Because he did everything perfect.
All right, I'll give you one for real. I'm not saying Mr. Perfect wasn't real. I'm just
wait a second.
You know how he bowled the 300, was perfect at pool. It was a great gimmick.
Mr. Perfect has sweet three-point shot too.
I'll give you one that I always was fascinated by because as a kid, you didn't realize how much strength was needed. When Bo Jackson would break a bat over his knee or just break a bat, you'd be like, yo, like you thought about that. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you hold the bat and you're like, oh.
Yeah, right. He broke it over his helmet.
Yeah.
Over his helmet.
You know who did it this year? I'm going to miss him a lot. Polar Bear Pete. Pete Alonso did that this year. And when you see one of these big, strong guys break a baseball bat, you're like, or like it's like a strong guy ripping a phone book. You know,
if you tried to do that, you'd probably roll around in pain. So we'll get to your phone calls, your feedback, and we got more, crazy sports flexes next. But we got Ilo now with an update.
Isaac Lowenkron.
Do you mind if I real quick give you my sports flex?
Yeah, I would love it.
This is not so much as a flex as just a great story. But back in the 60s, during the peak of Muhammad Ali, the top player in the NFL and arguably the greatest running back of all time was Jim Brown. Jim Brown made it be known that he very seriously wanted to box Muhammad Ali. He thought he could legitimately beat Muhammad Ali because he was such a great athlete. Remember, he was like an epic lacrosse player in addition to being a running back. So the two of them happened to be in London at the same time, and Ali tells him to meet him in Hyde Park, which is a famous park in London. So there they are, Ali and Jim Brown, just the two of them, face to face, no handlers, no nothing. And before Jim Brown says anything, Ali starts lightly slapping him, just slapping him like this.
Yeah.
And Ali's hands were so lightning fast that Jim Brown realized right then and there, yeah, there's no way I could ever.
That's a great story.
He
really
saw the
story.
flex up close with literally the greatest.
We are CNR on FSR, Covino and Rich. Again, on YouTube, Covino and Rich FSR. That's where you could also get our bonus podcast, Overpromised, where we talked about Fernando Mendoza and having a social media footprint because he's off social media completely. The importance of it, or do you give him credit for it? We go over Rich's picks and more. Overpromised with Covino and Rich. Join the fun. It's a really fun show. We appreciate it. Right now, we're live from the Fox Sports Radio studio.
And our show, sponsored by DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and NBA. Right now, use our code CRSHOW, and you could claim special offers at DraftKings. Again, that's code CRSHOW at DraftKings. The crown is yours.
And your next success can begin sooner than you think. Apply now and save with no application fee through February 11th at University of Maryland Global Campus. This new year, put your goals within reach at an accredited state university. Learn more at umgc.edu.
All right, now 2 quick little notes and then a quick thought to end the show. Quick note, Danny G, I thought about it. With your deep Barry White baritone voice, can you promise us something to look forward to? If the Raiders select Fernando Mendoza, can you do ABBA karaoke?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I want to just hear Danny
celebration.
Especially if he wins the national championship.
If he wins the national championship and then gets drafted by the Raiders, we need Danny G singing Fernando by ABBA, number 1. Number 2, you forget baseball's right around the corner. I know we're totally in football
I know.
mode.
We have the WBC this year, so we get like good baseball in early March, and they announced or released like all the hats and uniforms and stuff.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, really cool. So WBC and then the season.
We forget that the challenge is available this year for balls and strikes.
Oh, yeah.
And David Stearns of the Mets GM, said that guys like Juan Soto, veterans, will have the ability to do it on their own, where it seems like a lot of regular players will have to let the coach almost agree, like you could challenge. But I think it's going to be one of those things, like maybe if you're an Ohtani or a Judge or a Mike Trout or a Bryce Harper, you might be able to call your own shots. But for ball strike challenges, regular folks might have to be like, Coach, is it okay?
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So that should be an interesting twist. And one other note I wanted to bring up. I'm a big Fred Warner guy, not just because I'm a Niners fan. We talked to him at the Super Bowl, and I've been a fan ever since. I've always been a fan, but once we met him, and, I see the clips of him and his beautiful wife. They have a podcast. Like, Fred Warner is one of the best dudes in the NFL.
Yeah, but everybody has a podcast.
That is true. Fred Warner is practicing. Kyle Shanahan and the Niners announced that open window for practice. And that's like every Niners little fantasy, that Fred Warner comes back in some miraculous fashion and, just motivates this team to somehow win. And I just thought it was funny how Seahawks linebacker, how do you say this guy's name? Is it Uchaman? I'm going to butcher this. Danny, you want to help me with this one?
No. It's all you.
You got this.
Yeah, man, good.
You can do it, Rich.
You got it.
Come on.
It's Chuman Nvoso?
Sure.
Nvusu?
God bless you.
He commented on Fred Warner's Instagram post, "The road ends here." Like, don't worry about practicing. The road ends here. By the way, I practiced that guy's name like 5 times 2 hours ago.
That's okay.
And then I forgot.
It's okay, buddy. Not sure what happened there.
The road ends here. How do you feel about that?
Good smack talk? I love it. I love it. And I think, we look at that as fans and we love it, but we also have to understand that it's part of the culture, dude.
Uchima Nvosu.
Smack talk is just part of the game.
Nvosu.
Phillip Rivers is a master at it. You see it in NBA. You know where you see it the most, too, and I love it? Like one-on-one street ball, like basketball, street ballers. It's just part of the culture. You can't take it to heart. It's to get under your skin, and it works, but it goes both ways. So, Fred Warner, it might not be his style, but someone else on the 49ers can come back and talk some smack. That's back and forth. See, people don't like smack talk, but you got to remember, A, it's part of the game, and B, it goes both ways. It's not a one-way street.
Uchima Nvosu.
I love it. I'm a big fan.
Nvosu.
You got it, buddy.
Nvosu.
You got it.
Keep going.
I feel like Joey on Friends. Remember, he tried to learn French, and he was like, blah, blah, blah.
I love me some smack talk, man. I think there should be more of it. I'm a big fan of it. I think we should have people mic'd up just so we could hear more smack talk. And, yeah, I think that's one of the beauties of social media.
Can you get Rich mic'd up practicing these names off air?
So, props to linebacker.
So, in other words, hold on. I do want to make this clear, though.
Seattle Seahawks.
He's saying that if Fred Warner's window's open, right, his practice window's open, it's not even going to matter because he's not going to get past this week. I love that. I think that's great.
Road ends here, buddy.
Road ends here. Yeah. Hey, you're coming back? Yeah, good for you. We're going to beat you, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Is the risk reward too much to really try to push along Fred Warner? He's saying I could play now, but God forbid he tweaks that ankle again and something like but then again, so next week's fine if they make it. I don't know. I just feel like it's wild to think in a week he'll be fine, but he's saying I'm good now. Why wouldn't they, just even for morale, if they put him in, take him out, put him out? I don't know.
Yeah, you got to go for it now, Rich. Before the season began, haters were telling you that your Niners window was closed already. How much further do how much further open is that window for you?
Dude, I saw this with you thought I was going to say Willis Reed. I was going to say Daniel LaRusso because he's going to fight. You're telling me if Fred Warner, who, by the way, by all intents and purposes, is like the leader of that team. You're telling me if he doesn't suit up and he's in that circle,
it's a morale boost
pumping
for
up
sure.
the guys, getting all fired up, you don't think that would have any impact? Get out of here. Of course it would. Even if he's not 100% on the field, if there's a chance, I feel like you have to have Fred Warner suit up. That's it. Hey, have a great night. Enjoy
rivalries,
your tacos.
bro. I love it. Building rivalries.
All right. Until tomorrow. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.
Have a good one.